And welcome back here to Three Rivers Community College. A crazy, crazy first half. And the craziest part about it, I'll tell you real quick, 6 3-point shots by the Knights. 4 of those by DJ Hardy. You talk about a senior that's having the game of his life. So far in the first half, that's exactly what he's having, and we hope that continues on here in the second half. Taking a look at the scores across the board for the Knights. The Knights have actually only had 4 scores out of the 24 points. 6 of those belong to Garrett Callahan, chiming in with 2 of those 3-point shots. As I said, Hardy with the other 4, so 12 for him. He leads the Knights. Eli Pratt with 2, Ankrum with 2, and 2 from the line by Brett Mann. Flipping the page over to the Tigers. The Tigers have balanced their attack with all 5 of their starters scoring all of their points so far. 2 of those coming from Al Young, so the Knights have done a great job containing him. He scored 25 against Sykeston, so 2 in the first half is a great start. He's a sophomore, so coming into a big volume game like this, could be a few nerves. We'll see if that settles in the second half. Hopefully not, though. Looking across, down to number 22, Jamal Cox. He's got 2 from the field and 1 from the line, so 3 for him. Statham with 5. Redden has been the leading scorer so far in the night. He's got 10 of the 22 points, so nearly half the points going to one of their players, just like the Knights have half of their points in Hardy. And both of those players being the leaders for their respective teams from 3-point range as well. And the last one, the senior, 6'3", Mikey Jones, has 2. Tigers set for the inbound, and it will be Jones inbounding the ball to Statham. Statham across to Redden. Back in the corner, Tigers working the ball around. And wide open look, it's off the back of the rim. And that was Statham. Statham has not made a 3 tonight. He's shot several of them. A man that has made them, DJ Hardy. But that one's off the side iron. Tigers working it down the baseline. Ankrum there to contend. He does just that, and a great job. Great job on not committing the foul, going straight up and getting the rebound. England pulls it in, goes to Pratt. Pratt spins around, back out to England. Inside to Pratt. Pratt pumps around, gets a look off the glass. It's no good. Rebounded by the Tigers. And that is something that we've seen in the first half. The Knights not being able to work it inside nearly like they were against Central, and there's no doubt why that is. When you've got a 6'7" and a 6 guy down low, it's going to be hard to get those looks going off the glass. And just as I say his name, Statham with the chance, and it's going to be a pushing foul. Questionable call. It was a light foul, but I'm going to go ahead and call it. So that's going to send him to the line for 2. It's going to be his second trip to the line. He's 1 of 2 overall. Tigers 2 of 4. In their last game, they went 14 of 23 overall. So the big guy's not necessarily great free throw shooters, and we'll see it right there. Make him 1 for 3 now as he sets for his 4th shot of the night. And you can see that Coach Callahan back in the coach's box for the Knights, not happy about the call. But it ends up working out in the end to some degree. Unfortunately, Ankrum's second foul, but being in the second half, that's not too dangerous just yet. We'll take advantage of it, hopefully, with this set up right here by England. England starting to take it in instead, brings it back out, and the Knights doing a great job once again of working their shots. Ankrum with a bad shot selection that time. Tries to get it on off the base. The ball's fumbled around. It'll be a jump ball call. Knights doing a great job of battling for that one, especially since it's going to go in their favor now. So Knights will have another opportunity to extend and get a 2-possession lead. Knights not able to get a 2-possession lead so far tonight. When they went in between quarters, the score was 12-17. They were down by 5, but in the second quarter, they were able to outscore Tigers by 7. Ankrum battling down low. Instead, it'll be Pratt with the putback. Give the Knights a 2-possession lead by Eli Pratt. That'll be the first points on either side here in the second half. A turnover, England behind the back, bringing it down court hard, spins around, gets the shot off the glass. It's no good. But guess what? No Tigers around, and Hardy puts it in. Timeout, Cape Central. Hardy gets his first shot from the field inside that arc, and he gets it at a time when 4 other Knights are around. The Tigers were lazy on getting back after the turnover, and the Knights able to take advantage of the opportunity. England did a great job battling down through the lane on that fast break. He just wasn't able to convert it. Instead, Hardy was able to back him up, get the putback, and give Hardy a total of 14 of the 28. He still has half of the points tonight. Great job by the senior. Now, all season long, we talked about it several times, how we really want the student section to start making some noise, and they've came tonight. They are definitely winning the battle of the crowds between the two schools, and the parent section, I've seen them on their feet several times, and I'm sure you've seen it in front of our camera every now and then. So it's something that I love to see. It's something that these players love to see after a hard-fought season. That 19-9 record, and crossing their fingers, hoping for school history in their 20th win tonight. 28-22 the score. 5:40 left here in the third period. Tigers with the ball, work it down inside to Statham. He's taking the most shots of any Tiger tonight. It'll be Statham over on the side. Big man working the perimeter several times. A hard move inside, and Knights win the rebound battle once again. That rebound pulled in by Pratt. Callahan looks inside to Ankrum. Ankrum working it. Nearly gets a great pass off to Pratt. Instead, it'll be a great transitional play by the Tigers to put it in for the easy 2. And it's Al Young getting his 3rd and 4th points of the night. And the Knights will come back down, and now they'll start to try to settle it a little bit. They're rushing it a little bit more than they did in the first. Pratt nearly had a good look there. Instead, it's battled around. Hardy in the corner. Tigers able to collapse on him pretty quickly. Pratt with an open look off the glass. It's no good, but Pratt pulls in his rebound, gets the shot off and puts it in. 30-24, a great job by Eli Pratt. The Knights have been winning the boards all night long. Another turnover. Ankrum with the ball. Knights settle it down. A great job by the Farmington Knights. One of the most impressive showing that they've put on all season long. Calm, cool, collected. Said it at the beginning, and I'll say it again. Hardy with the ball. He's taken that shot a couple of times. And the Knights passing the ball around. 6-point lead. Very smart basketball once again, and now they're going to start to work on the Tigers, hoping that the still feet will end up costing the Tigers, and it could. Nearly does turn into another turnover, but instead the missed shot by Pratt will give the Tigers the opportunity. 6 points down. They could find another 3 from the corner. Instead, they'll pass it inside, and it'll be the laner by number 22, Jamal Cox. That'll be his 3rd and 4th points of the night. So the points once again spread across quite a few of the Tigers. Still just the 5 starters, so we haven't seen a 6th man come in and make a difference. And their 6th man in the game against Sykeston ended up with 2 points on the night, and that was 23, Chase Haggerty. We did see him out on the court for a second earlier. He committed a foul. Did nothing else for them, though. We'll call a quick timeout. The Knights are going to try to collect themselves a little bit more offensively. It's still very impressive so far tonight by the Knights. They have been able to extend their lead here in this quarter by 2, and they've got the possession currently. A chance to once again go up by 6 points or more. Knights' largest lead of the night is that 6-point lead that they had just a minute ago at 30-24. Knights bring the ball down court. Barnes back out to England, and the Knights will set up the play. 3:18 on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. Knights passing the ball around. Having some great offensive sets time and time again, making sure that they have an open look before they try to force anything. England comes down hard. Barnes nearly goes for the three, and so the Knights continue to pass it around a bit more. And the great part about this is right now they are controlling the clock. They've got control of the scoreboard, and they can kind of try to find a way to get Central to get lazy on defense by playing this slow style of play. Very smart, very smart. Not sure exactly what was going on, but clearly there were some Farmington fans over on the side that were not happy about something. I heard a few parents talking during halftime that there are a few elbows down low that are being missed at times. A man trying to work inside right now. Sets a good screen for Pratt, but Pratt pulls it back out instead. It's 2:09 on the clock. The Knights have drained more than a minute off the clock. England in the corner around to Callahan, out on top to Barnes. Barnes back over to Callahan. England with an open look from three. It's in! Holy cow, the Knights drain more than a minute off the clock, find the open shot like they've done all night long, and take advantage of it. England finally gets in the book with the three. On the other side of the court, give another rebound to the Knights and give a foul to the Tigers. You want to talk about some big play by these Knights. We have not seen this kind of play all season long. Amazing. 33-26, 1:42 on the clock. Coming into this broadcast, director, producer tonight, Marcus Archer, told me that I was going to get a little bit too much into this game to pay attention to some of the things, and I tell you, he wasn't wrong on that. A 33-26 lead. We talked about it a couple times during the conference and district tournament. There were several times that the Knights scored pretty low. We were afraid that might be costly, but the Knights doing a great job of controlling things tonight. Scores low, but they've controlled things. And that time, a little bit of a forced shot by Brett Mann. Not the best shot available necessarily that we've seen tonight by far, but not a horrible shot. The Knights, like I said, up by 7, so they can spare a few, especially if they can continue to win the rebound battle like they have tonight. Passes going around, going inside, and a push underneath by Brett Mann. And no doubt about that, Mann was backing up pretty hard underneath, and not necessarily a bad foul, because if he gives that one to him a little bit too easy, he ends up with a clean look. So we'll give it to him a decent foul on the play. And as I say that, underneath, Statham nearly had an open look, but Barnes commits the foul. That's a 4th foul. Hopefully the Knights won't creep too quickly into bonus, but that might not be costly for them. It might be a smart play going into the 4th quarter. Statham so far on the night, 1 of 4. Make it 2 of 5. 2 of 5, and when you look at the Tigers, you say Statham's not a good free throw shooter, but when you look across the board, 14 of 23 is not a pretty percentage from the line. But he's able to sink both in this time and close it to a 5-point lead for the Knights. England with the ball. Starts to bring it down himself. A great job. Ankrum wide open, and he gets hacked in the process. And the Cape Central side going crazy. But I'm sorry, if you're going to hack us with 2 of your biggest men, I don't think a block at that point is the most impressive thing in the world. So Ankrum will go to the line for 2.
The second personal Tiger team foul. Number 2, the line for Farmington, number 25, Jordan Ankrum.
And Ankrum, smooth as silk from the line all season long. He's done a great job from the charity stripe. It's up and no good as I say that. So as the producer director Marcus Archer said, I'm cursing him now. So hopefully I'll close my eyes, I'll plug my ears, and I'll hope to reverse that. And instead he goes 0 for 2, and part of that could be as a result of that hard foul that sent him to the line. England tips it. It's a 2-on-1 scenario. England goes up with it by himself, shakes the backboard. No goaltending call, but it does drop in, and the Knights back to a 7-point lead thanks to the steal and conversion by England. Brett Mann working hard in the post. A great job against Statham. Statham an open look from the baseline instead. Pulls it back, throws it across court. Knights doing a great job defensively all night long. That shot contested as well. And it's off the side of the iron, and it'll go to the line for 2. Going to the line will be number 22, Jamal Cox. He's the only other Tiger that's went to the line. He's 1 of 2. The Tigers overall tonight. A collective 4 of 8. So they're shooting 50% from the line. His first up and no good. So the Tigers now under 50% on the night. So 4 of 9 now. And we're hoping for a 4 of 10 so that the Knights can hold a 7-point lead. Not sure exactly what was going on, but Slick Rick saw something in the crowds. Appears that it might have been a light on the cell phone. As technology has become more widespread, simple things like that from the crowd can become a distraction. Callahan with the ball, gets it over to England. England starts to bring it down, and it's going to be an out-of-bounds call. Don't know how you don't call the blocking foul on that one. He's trying to, you've got to give him a little bit of a pat there, and he didn't have that. A lean away jumper, it's no good. Ankrum ends up with a rebound, and thank goodness we've been able to win this rebound battle. It's a huge reason that the Knights are up right now. Ankrum coming hard inside, gets the blocking call and puts it in. He'll go to the line for the and one. Give the Knights an 8-point lead, potentially 9, with the junior, number 25, Jordan Ankrum. 4.7 left here in the third. And as I said earlier, Statham with the fouls. Statham's been a big part of this offense all night for the Tigers. And this time around, I'm not going to say anything about Ankrum's free throw shooting, and he'll go ahead and put it in. Last shot at the buzzer, it's no good. Give the Knights a 9-point lead. My, oh my, a team that we lost to by 12 earlier this year. We're up by 9, and we are 8 minutes away from potentially seeing school history here at Three Rivers Community College. I went to school at Farmington all 13 years. My dad worked at Farmington, and now here I am back as a staff member. And as I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about the fact that we're about ready to see school history, it's kind of a chilling moment. It's something that is great to see for this group of 8 seniors. Many of them have played all the way back in the days when they were little bitty over at the Civic Center across the street from the high school, played on a team together. That team coached by none other than Justin Callahan. So it's something that, if you turn the pages back to 2007, the Knightheads basketball team that went to the Final Four, it was the same kind of thing. And it's just a special moment for a group of players that has stuck with each other for so many years. This is something that the parents are proud of, the players are proud of, and it's something that builds up to where the community's proud of it. It's amazing to become a part of this Farmington tradition that you see, the district titles, the trips to state over the years, and to see Knights basketball finally creeping into that now, possibly with the sectional win and setting school history tonight. They're up by 9. And if the offense can hold the ball like they have all night long, they could be on their way to the win. Eli Pratt tips it away, and a turnover will start the fourth quarter. Logan England with the ball. It gets tipped around, and the foul comes across. It's number 10, Redden, coming a little bit too hard. That's the second time he's done that tonight. So that's his third foul, actually. So that will be another one to watch because he is their leading scorer tonight. 3 fouls for him and 3 fouls for Statham between the two. I would say a great percentage of their shots tonight taken by those 2 men alone. So if we could get those 2 into foul trouble going through the fourth quarter, you could take that momentum slider and slide it even a little bit more. And as I say that, another foul is now going to be called on Al Young. That'll be the 5th foul by the Tigers. Al Young has 2 fouls. Al hasn't been much of the scoring. He was the leading scorer against Lexington, only 4 points tonight. Great job by the Knights defense. England with the ball, spins around, starts to come inside, gets it out to Hardy. The pick set by England. Around to Callahan. Callahan looking inside. Pratt working in, couldn't get the open look. Callahan once again spins around, gets his arm pushing out there, and several of the Cape players are probably getting tired of that, but some of the Farmington faithful trying to get the foul, and it's really at that point both players are really pushing against each other. A good no call that time by the officials. Play working inside to Ankrum, back out to Pratt, over to Callahan. 6:57 on the clock. The Knights doing a great job of draining the clock once again. You know, when you're looking at a team that's only scored 29 points all night and you're able to drain the clock like this, England with the ball back out on top to Pratt, over to Callahan. 38 points of the Knights being calm with the ball. Pratt with an open look on the baseline. He puts it off the glass. It's no good. And Pratt has had that look several times tonight. He hasn't been able to take advantage of it. He's actually only got a total of 6 points on the night, and he's had many open looks. And as I say that, an open look by Redden. It's his first three. It's actually his first shot to sink in this half. Close it to a 6-point difference between the two schools. 6:14 on the clock. England spins around. Open look down the base, down the key. He is able to recover, gets it over to Pratt. Pratt back outside to Hardy. Man, oh man, this Knights offense at times being a little bit risky here in the fourth quarter. Callahan going down inside. Instead gets a pass over to Ankrum. Ankrum back out to England. And the foul being called on Cape Central. The coach can't believe it. And at the same time, Redden throwing his arms down in frustration towards England. Get ready. Could see some fireworks in this one. I haven't seen a technical foul called all season. I announced every single one of the home games for Farmington on both the girls and boys side. Didn't see it either way, but in this kind of game, the kind of energy that's in this building, it's very easy to get swayed one way or another. And with that being his fourth foul, and a hard foul that time, and depending on who it's called, it really doesn't matter. Either way, big foul trouble for two players, and it is called on number 33, Statham. That's his fourth foul. Redden has 4. So now the two biggest shot selectors by the Cape Central Tigers, 4 fouls each. Pratt at the line. It's been trouble for him this season, but he sinks the first. And make it a 7-point advantage for the Knights. Pratt with the chance to make it a total of 8 and cash in at the 40 mark. Second one up, it bounces around, no good. And the Knights so far from the line tonight, 4 of 7, so just better than 50%. Tigers just under that mark. Tigers working around the perimeter. Pass it all the way across court to Young. Young down inside. Knights have played great defense down low, but it'll be 33. Statham battling down low, and it's the kind of thing that if he gets a little bit too physical with that shoulder, you can see his 5th foul. 39-34, great ball movement by Logan England. Cape Central defense, once again, they're playing tough physical defense, and it's starting to cost them. And now the Knights are in the bonus. It'll be Hardy at the line. It's the 8th foul. And it's the first foul by number 24, Mikey Jones, on the night.
At the line for Farmington, number 32, Hardy.
4:58 on the clock. Knights with a 5-point lead. Hardy at the line for the 1-and-1, so an important first free throw here. And he sinks it in. So make it 5 of 8 from the line for the Knights. And he makes the second. 6 of 9, shooting 67% from the line now. Nice percentage to have when the team across from you is shooting less than 50. 4:51 on the clock. Tigers bringing it down hard. Ankrum goes up. Doesn't contest the shot much, but Al Young gets his 6th point. He hit that shot off the glass. And he is pretty far away from scoring what he did in his last game, as well as the first matchup between these two schools. 41-36, the Knights still with the 2-possession lead, and they've controlled the clock. So as long as they play the way that they have all night long, there's no reason to think that they can't continue this. And as I've said several times, the 4 fouls by Statham and Redden are going to be the things to watch here with these next 4:44. Now, looking ahead, the winner of this game will face the winner of Afton and Bayless. And the one thing that typically happens with this side of the state, when you look through it, Sikeston, as I said, 5-time district champs. They were unseated this year from that throne by the Cape Central Tigers. Usually when Sikeston wins their district, they go on, they win the sectional, they go on, they win the quarterfinal, and they find themselves a path to that Final Four time in and time out. So hopefully the Knights are headed in that same direction if they can maintain this lead. Once again, 4:44 on the clock. Out to inbound the ball for the Knights will be number 20, Eli Pratt. Knights get it into England. England down to Callahan. Callahan pulls it around and ends up turning the ball over. England tips it out. Gets an open look. It's up. It's no good. Tipped out to Ankrum. Ankrum starts to come down, doing a great job dribbling with the left hand. Gets a pass down to number 1, Jonah Barnes. It's no good. And the rebound's tipped around, and it'll be a foul on the Knights. The Knights getting a little bit too fast with it that time around. It's something that they haven't done all night, so if they try to flip that switch, it's going to be difficult to do that. And that's going to be the 4th foul on Jonah Barnes. Luckily for the Knights, it's a little bit different scenario with him having 4 fouls versus what the Tigers have set up with their 4 fouls from 2 of their players. Barnes hasn't scored any points on the Knights, so that difference is clearly stated by the books. He's going to pass over to the baseline. He's coming in hard, and a foul's going to be called on the Knights, and it is going to be on the floor. But we are looking at a 1-on-1 situation, and it'll be Al Young making his first trip to the line on the night. The foul's called on number 24, Callahan. That's his first. So this is just now creeping into the bonus. It's been a very physical 4th quarter between these 2 teams, racking up several fouls back and forth. Foul count 7-8, so not an imbalance between the 2 schools. It's been very balanced on the foul calling tonight. At the line once again will be Al Young, shooting his first of the night. His first of the 1-on-1 is up and no good. Rebounded by Pratt. So the Tigers only 5 of 11 now. Working down low to Ankrum. Ankrum starts to go up, gets a shot up, and he puts it in. Give Ankrum a total of 5 points now on the night, nowhere near his 17, but luckily the Knights have been able to take advantage of some great guard play tonight. Leaner down low by number 22, Jamal Cox, and we've seen him hit that same exact shot 3 times tonight. And at the same time, Cox is going to commit the foul. So that's actually his 3rd foul, so make it 3 Tigers now creeping into some foul trouble. And if we see foul trouble from Jamal Cox, you're going to look across and you're going to see a total of 11 fouls by 3 key players, Jamal Cox, Statham, and Redden. You're talking about their 2 biggest men out there on the court, along with their best 3-point shooter. All 3 of those guys starting to creep into that foul trouble, 2 of them with 4. Callahan's first from the line is up. It's no good, off the side iron, and rebounded by the Tigers. 5-point lead for the Knights. Passed over to the side. Statham with the ball. He's made several attempts from 3, but he hasn't been able to cash in on a single one of those tonight. A shoulder thrown up and ends up sending Callahan to the floor. Coming down hard is Statham, and the Tigers able to get their own rebound that time around. They are getting physical down low, give Cox a total of 10 points, but on the other side of the floor, it's DJ Hardy once again. Hardy, a total of 18 points tonight. Huge by the senior. And shuffling his feet around, no call made, but it's Mikey Jones with his 2nd basket of the night. Make it 45-42, and now very quickly it's back to a 1-possession difference between the 2 schools. 3 minutes on the clock. Knights are still in good position because of the fouls by some of these Cape Central players. Knights only 1 foul away from the double bonus. 3:01 once again on the clock. And it's been one of the most intense games of the year for the Farmington Knights. The last intense game like this that you can really think about. Of course, the game against Central was very, very tense since they were down by 7 going into the half. No doubt about it, having to come back in that one. And really the way that the Knights have been pushed tonight, the last time that they were pushed as hard physically as what they have been tonight, could probably turn the page back to the game against Potosi in the conference tournament, or soon after that against Cape Notre Dame. It was that following week, and you saw a lot of the same problems in that Cape Notre Dame game that you saw in the game against Potosi, but the Knights have cleaned that up tonight. They've allowed 3 3-point shots. The Tigers not necessarily a 3-point shooting team. The Knights haven't allowed a ton of open looks. A few being taken by Statham. He hasn't hit a single one of those. Redden the only one, and he's got 3 of them tonight. So with the Knights having the possession right now, they do have that extra possession to try to push it back to a 2-possession lead. 3:01 on the clock once again. And the Knights set with the inbound. It'll be Pratt with the inbound. Pratt gets it into England. England, once again, great ball handler all season long. Gets it over to Pratt. Pratt looking down. Gets it to England. It's stolen away. Tigers coming back hard. And he gets a reverse layup. It's number 22, Jamal Cox, once again. He'll close it to a 1-point difference. England with the ball. And it'll be a quick foul call on number 12. And he's another player that kind of creeps out onto the court every now and then. It's his first foul. He'll sing England to the line for 2. So hopefully the Knights will be able to add. Only up by 1 point. Definitely walking the line right now. England with his first gets in. So far tonight, the Knights been able to make a total of 7 of their 10, shooting 70%, hoping to put that above right here off the front of the rim. It's no good. Rebounded by the Tigers. Knights still with the advantage. Palms are sweating. The Knights got to be nervous at this point with the 2-point lead. Bretman substituting in for Hardy. Hardy has scored 2 points here in the second half. Actually make that a total of 6. He's got 2 from the line as well after shooting 4 3-pointers in the first. Nearly gets the open look. The ball's passed around. It is an open look from the side. It's up, bounces around, rebounded by Ankrum. And a jump ball will be the call. And possession luckily in favor of the Knights. 2:19 on the clock. And that 3-point shot was taken by Al Young. We haven't seen him take very many of those tonight, so nice to see that he wasn't able to cash in. So once again, to inbound the ball, Pratt gets it into England. We've seen it all night long the same way. England gets it down to Callahan. Callahan looking down, gets it over to Pratt. Pratt with the jump stop back out to Callahan. And now the Knights will try to control the clock once again. Knights have done a great job of it all night. They've got a 2-point possession. If they can bring this clock down and extend their lead to 2 possessions, that will be gold. Knights passing the ball around, doing a great job once again of being very selective with their passes, being very careful. And the ball goes over to Callahan, inside to Ankrum. Ankrum starts to make the move instead, back out to Callahan. Callahan looking around, leans, gets a pass over to Ankrum. Ankrum down to Pratt. Pratt off the board and in! Give them the 2-possession lead, 48-44. A great job by the Knights. And now the and one on the other side. Just as the Knights get that additional points on the board, we go to the other side of the court and commit the and one. Jamal Cox is flat taking over this game now. He's got a total of 11 points here in the second half. The Knights are going to have to start controlling and keeping the passes from getting into the post. 125 will have a full timeout now. As I said, 125 left on the clock. Jamal Cox had only 3 points heading into this second half. The second half, he's turned it on. Once again, it'll totally be 11 points. They'll give him 14 points on the night of the 46 for the Tigers. And adrenaline pumping back and forth. The Knights have had some great ball movement all night long. They've really played smart basketball, and when you look once again at the previous matchup of these two teams and see the fact that they lost to Cape by 12, that was at the beginning of the season. So you can pardon that to a degree, but as I said earlier, at the end of the season, both schools had a game within a week of each other against Cape Notre Dame. Cape Notre Dame, one of the best three-point shooting teams that the Knights saw all season long, and it cost them in that game because they, once again, give a lot of open looks from three, but they're trained to do so, and that's actually worked to their advantage tonight because the big scores are coming inside most of the time by the Tigers, with Al Young, Jamal Cox, and Statham being the three leading scorers all season long. Two of those, 6'7", 6'6", so no doubt the inside game is one that the Knights have to control throughout the game, and they've been able to do just that. Going to the line will be Cox. He's 2 of 4. So even though it was the and one, Tigers might not be able to take advantage of that. Just hopefully the Knights can continue to win the rebounding battle that they have won all night long, and that's exactly what happens. Ankrum gets the board with the missed free throw by Cox. Down court to Hardy. Hardy bringing the ball across. He's wide open. He dribbles the ball around, gets it over to Callahan. Over to Ankrum, back out on top, 1:07 on the clock. Knights controlling the ball with a 2-point lead. The pick set, Central pulling off defensively as a result of that. And Callahan doing a great job of just sitting there and holding the screen. 54 seconds on the clock, and now it's going to be a foul on number 3, Al Young. That's his third. That was the one Tiger that's on the floor right now that can't give up that foul. When you look across their starters, now they've got 4 with either 3 or 4 fouls. So a close game like this, especially with the time left on the clock, you can kind of think overtime. And undoubtedly, overtime tips in the favor of the Farmington Knights. And England able to extend the lead out to 3 points. A big free throw and a huge free throw here. He could possibly go. Had the chance to sink it, and instead, the pass is thrown down court. It's a turnover, and the Tigers are livid at themselves on that one. 48-7 on the clock. Knights with a 3-point lead, and you could expect to see the Tigers commit a quick foul here, but as I said, they don't have very many to give up. The only starter that can really give up a foul at this point is number 24, Mikey Jones. He is guarding the inbound passer, DJ Hardy. Pass goes into Ankrum, and it's the quick foul, and that's on number 22, Jamal Cox. Make it his 4th. That was one of the only other ones outside of Mikey Jones that could commit the foul. Al Young does have 3, so now we have 3 of the Tigers with 4 fouls. 3 Tigers with 4 fouls, 47.3 on the clock. Ankrum at the line for 2. His first is up, and it's no good. It's short. And could see that one just about as soon as he released it. And an uncharacteristic Jordan Ankrum tonight, 1 of 4. Knights fans all over this place crossing their fingers and hoping for a 2 of 5. It's up and around the rim, no good. And it's going to be a push foul by number 21, Brett Mann. And that's going to be the Knights' 8th foul, so it'll be a 1-and-1 on the other side of the court. Honestly, not the worst thing in the world. Now, you'd want to drain the time off the clock. Unfortunately, it stops the clock. As I've said, the Tigers haven't been great from the line. So far tonight, Jamal Cox only 2 of 5. Yes, it's costly, no doubt about it. Director, producer saying you can't foul with the lead, and I agree. But if you're going to foul someone that's 2 of 5 might not be bad, but he does sink the first. So make it a total of 3 of 6 now. And Cox set with his second. It's up, no good. Rebounded by Ankrum. Ankrum starts to go over with the dribble. Instead, he gets a quick foul. So that's his 4th foul. Al Young with his 4th. So now 4 Tigers with 4 fouls. Jordan Ankrum at the line. He's 1 for 4. His first on this trip. Once again, no good. 1 of 5. So he's been the one to foul tonight. 49-47. This one could extend it out to a 3-point lead and at least hold it to a 1-possession lead for the Knights. It's off the front of the rim. No good once again. Make it 1 of 6. Tigers with the ball, bringing the ball down court. And the Knights have played great defense all night. Hopefully we could see that continue with this possession by the Tigers. A deep 3 look. It's up, no good. Rattles around the rim. Pratt gets it. And in the process, it's going to be a foul on number 24, Mikey Jones. It was the one and only person on the court. And man, was that one close. That was dangerous that time by the Knights as Pratt just kind of threw it in. Last-ditch effort. And it was that slight push by Jones that's going to send Pratt to the line. The Knights still up by 2, 25.3. And you talk about a pressure cooker. This place right now could not be any warmer. The heavy breathing coming around from all parts of the court, including myself. Pratt's first up and no good. The Knights not hitting their free throws down the stretch. .3 once again. Pratt for his second. It's up and it rattles in. So the Knights at least with a 3-point lead. Tigers coming down, 25.3 on the clock. Gets the pass over to Statham. Statham out on top to Redden. Redden spinning around, pulls back out over to Statham. Statham, 3-point shot is up. It's no good off the front of the rim, and it's out of bounds. It'll be Black Knight ball. 11.2 on the clock. Ladies and gentlemen, 11.2 seconds away from possible school history. And in the process of that, let's calm things down, bring it down a little bit. Callahan's going to call a timeout and do just that. Statham all night shooting so many threes. I haven't been able to keep up with it. Who knows how many threes he shot all night long. He hasn't made a single one of them. The only threes being made tonight by the Tigers are 3 from Redden. On the other side of the court, that's definitely not been the scenario. Now in the second half, it's been that way a little bit more. England chiming in with the one and only 3 by the Knights. It's only 2 threes here in the second half after seeing a total of 8 between the two teams in the first. So quite the difference from the perimeter. Both teams doing a good job of contesting a lot of the shots, but more than anything, the Cape Central Tigers just haven't been able to make it from 3. So once again, 11.2 on the clock. The Knights just seconds away, and no doubt it's going to be a quick foul on the inbound. But the problem is there's only one man that can commit that foul without coming out of the game, and that's Mikey Jones. And then it's going to fall to the 6th man who hasn't done anything tonight for the Tigers, 23, Chase Haggerty. Now, once again, I don't want to say something like that and jinx it and end up with one of those classic college moments. Down to inbound the ball for the Knights will be Jonah Barnes. Surprising to see that after all night long it's been Pratt. Giving Pratt a quick break. It's going to be a throw down court into England, and he's fouled on the inbound. Doesn't matter. Tigers put it up. It's no good, and it's going to be a quick foul. I'm not sure who they're going to give it on, but a huge opportunity by the Tigers wasted. 4.5 seconds on the clock. Knights going to the line for a chance to extend this past the 1-possession lead and possibly completely out of reach for the Tigers. Ankrum going to the line, and as director producer Marcus Archer just said, it's the one guy that you might not want going to the line, but you know, I'm going to put this one to percentages. Over the course of a game, percentages typically work themselves out, so let's hope that the percentage will edge in the direction in favor of Ankrum with this trip to the line, and we'll hope for a quick 2 of 2 and a 5-point lead. Once again, 4.5. We're just seconds away from possible school history here with the Farmington Knights, and I cannot wait to see the reaction from the head coach, Callahan, if the Knights are able to pull through and seal the deal here at Three Rivers Community College. You talk about one that's been fun to bring to you. Thinking back through the years as I've been a part of the program, there have been several big games. I'll never forget my senior year, the Knights being able to beat North County in football for the first time in forever, and getting to see our fans storm onto their field was quite the moment. But that wasn't school history. Right now we are talking about school history, and it's a chilling moment. I've gotten chills myself talking about it several times during the night, and it's just great to see by this group of Knights, and you wouldn't find a better group of individuals. You look there on the side, and it's great to see the Knights bench right now interlocking arms with one another and getting set for this possible sectional win. And once again, Ankrum going to the line. He's 1 of 6. And the first shot is up by Ankrum. It's no good. Make it 1 of 7. And the Knights here in the second half just shooting dreadful from the line. Ankrum second. He sets, he puts it up, and it spins around. It's no good. Rebounded. The clock starts. It's ticking down. It's up from 3. It's no good. Tipped up, and it's over. It's over. The Knights win. The Knights win it. The Knights win it. The Knights win the first ever sectional game in school history. A great job tonight by the Knights. Never seen better play all season long. I cannot tell you how proud I've been to be here, call every moment of this game. It's been so much fun. The threes by Hardy in the first half were some of the biggest shots that we have seen all season by this team. And the Knights giving their appreciation to the student section that showed up tonight, and several of the Knights fan section coming down onto the court for a second and trying to get them off. And it's the kind of thing, once again, it's school history. It's hard to keep the fans from showing that emotion, especially traveling over an hour to be here tonight. It's been something that has been a ton of fun to watch for this group of seniors. Once again, 8 of them this year, being led by Coach Callahan for years, and something that is so much fun to see by these Knights players. And it looks like the Knights are going to go ahead and pull it off into the locker room, but here a little bit later, I'm sure we'll see some celebration out on the court, and we'll try to get some pictures of that for you. Real quick, I'm going to run down through some of these stats, and really the biggest stat on the night that you can look at, that it's kind of amazing to see the fact that we were able to win when you look at this. From the line, Jordan Ankrum, a total of 1 for 8. 1 for 8 here in the second half. Down the stretch, the Knights just not being able to hit their free throws, and it's not something that you typically see, but luckily Tigers weren't able to either from the line. It was something that we saw all night from them. So when you're going down through the stats on the night, surprisingly, it's going to be DJ Hardy that led the Knights to this victory tonight, and carrying those 4 threes in the first half. He was able to finish with a total of 18 points on the night. So 12 there from 3, 4 from the field, and then 2 more from the line. So an impressive night by the senior DJ Hardy, and we might even try to grab a quick interview from DJ at the conclusion of this broadcast. You can turn back and see that once again on the YouTube channel. I encourage you to take a look at some of the other videos, especially all the bond issue videos. We got the bond issue coming up on April 8th, so please take the time to look at some of the videos that Night Vision Media has put together. Also follow us at FHS Night Vision on Twitter, and make sure to visit us all the time on our Nightlife newspaper site. We've got plenty of articles, and we'll have a few pictures from tonight's game, especially some of those with the celebration at the end. I can't tell you how much fun it's been to be a part of school history once again. Tonight, I want to thank Carter Southern coming up here and running camera for us. Left the student section. He's kind of known as one of the 6th men of the Farmington Knights, so to have the 6th man over here and doing this game with us, it's been a lot of fun. And if you look down here at mid-court, we've actually got Eli Pratt that's coming out and getting a quick hug from his parents, getting a few handshakes, and Eli undoubtedly, as soon as the win was clinched, he looked up into the crowd, he pointed up to his mom and dad, and that's the kind of special moment that you love to see. And once again, it's another one of those moments that, as I'm sitting here, a humongous Farmington fan, it gives me chills to think about some of these great moments that we have seen tonight. And you might not see anyone happier right now than Eli Pratt. Pratt, of course, scoring 12 points in the first half of that game against Central, so he's definitely a big reason why the Knights were able to be here tonight and go on to victory. Pratt finishing with 10 points on the night, so he was definitely a big part of the overall attack by the Knights that was led by DJ Hardy once again with 18. Now looking elsewhere, Ankrum, who led the Knights last week in Potosi against Central, only scoring 5 points tonight. Brett Mann chimes in with 2. Logan England, a total of 7 points on the night, and Garrett Callahan with 6. So the scoring breakdown in order: 18 to Hardy, 10 for Eli Pratt, 7 for England, 6 for Callahan, 5 for Ankrum, and 2 from Brett Mann. A great job tonight by the Knights, and undoubtedly one of the things that you've got to look at is the defensive ability of the Knights tonight, really doing a great job of limiting the open looks from the right men. Al Young, who scored 25 points against Sykeston, 13 points in his last game against Farmington, held to only 6 points tonight. Then Jamal Cox, who was really taking over, gets in foul trouble. He's no longer able to play near his physical, and that's another thing that cost the Tigers as we dwindled down here. So Jamal Cox ends up being the leading scorer on the night for the Tigers. He ends up with a total of 15 points to lead the Tigers. And undoubtedly, those 4 fouls from 4 different Tigers is definitely what cost them going down to the end, and it nearly cost the Knights in the process, those fouls, sending the Knights to the line several times. They weren't able to convert, but they are able to convert for the win. So once again, we've been here at Three Rivers Community College. It's sectional basketball, school history. I've loved being here to bring this one with you. Can't say that one enough. I'm glad that you joined us and viewed this video here on FHS Night Vision. We look forward to bringing you the rest of the games. The next one will be over at the Farmington Civic Center, and that game will be that game will be just here in a few days. We're just 3 days away. It'll be on Saturday, and that game at 7:45. So and just found out now against the director producer Marcus Archer that game will be against Bayless. So Bayless will come in 20-9, same record that the Knights will have. So 2 20-9 teams are going to face off against one another. We'll do a ton of breakdown. We'll look at Bayless's season. So make sure once again get on to Nightlife Online, www.fhsnightvision.com. And if you would like to add us as an app on your phone, if you go to the info tab there on the Night Vision Nightlife Online site, you can take the step-by-step instructions for Android or Apple devices and add us to your home screen to continue to get these updates as the Knights try to make their road all the way down to the Final Four. Once again tonight, it's been Marcus Archer, director and producer, Carter Southern with camera, and I've enjoyed bringing this one to you. Once again, Aaron Murray, Night Vision Media, thank you for watching.